I want to advance 5 factors responsible for lifting in the kingdom. Number 1 is the heart posture. When Samuel came into the house of Jesse, he made a statement. Jesse brought Eliab, his first son. The guy had stature. You know, there are people that look like kings. When you see them, you say, my God. See, there are people that when they come around you, they coordinate. Even the prophet, when he saw Eliab, he said, surely a prophet whose power is precision and discernment. When he saw Eliab, he said, surely, without doubt, this is the Lord's anointed. And God said, I've refused him. I don't see how men see. He said, men look on the outward. He said, but I, the Lord, I check the heart of man. What makes men rise in this kingdom is the quality of their heart. If your heart is wrong, sir, you are not a candidate for lifting. 1 Samuel 16 verse 6. And it came to pass when they were come that he looked on Eliab and said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him. And here God's reply. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, look not on his height, the height of his stature. Don't look at that, because I have refused him. Countenance correct, stature correct, heart wrong. Heart was more important than countenance. You see some people, they have all the physical glory, but their heart is evil. I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as man seeth. For man look on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. So if this guy's heart was right, probably Jesus would have been the king in the order of Eliab. But unfortunately, the heart was wrong. See, one of the prayers you must learn to pray is, God, help my heart. He said, I, the Lord, I search the heart. Jeremiah 17 verse 10. I search the reins to give to every man as his way should be. God does not give to men based on their appearance. He gives to men based on their heart. And I will show you some of the critical things wrong with the heart. Psalm 24, you read from verse 3. You will see what is wrong with the heart of many people. It said, who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Who shall stand in his holy place? Who are the men God lives in his realm? Look at them. He that had a clean hands. Number 2, he that has a pure heart. When you find a man that his intention is always right, that's a man that will be lifted. Number 3, he said, they have not lifted up their souls in vanity, pride. There's nothing wrong in being the head, but when you think you are the only head, and when you think your own head is better than every other head, you have a problem. And he said, number 4, they have not sworn deceitfully. Treacherous people. So when you find people who compromise, you find people who don't have pure intentions, you find people who are proud, and you find people who are deceptive, they can never rise. So the first quality God considers to lift men is the heart.